for it.
I mean, maybe like Coco's or something like that.
What's Coco's?
It's like, it would be the equivalent. So Coco's is a restaurant. I don't know if it's still in existence. It was a restaurant in California, Southern California, that, did pies and stuff like that. It'd be the equivalent to like the pie. What is that called out here? The pie shop, pie place?
Flying Saucer?
No. It wasn't just a pie place. It was like, they did pies, but they also had like food there too.
I don't know.
You know,
Cracker Barrel. I'm trying to think of like the most country place where you can get.
What's up, everybody? This is Anthony Rogers. I'm here with my lovely wife,
Morgan Rogers.
And this is Grey-Purview podcast, where we talk about all things gray, or all the things in between. We take a view where a lot of times when we discuss things, most times end up in the middle. And so we just talk about, Christianity, our relationship, being an interracial relationship, black and white makes gray. So it's, anyway, Grey-Purview. For those coming back, welcome back. If this is your first time joining in, tap in. And something catchy there. We have a great topic for you today. We reached out on Instagram and basically was doing a discussion of the topic we did last week. And we got a bunch of feedback. And so we want to answer your questions. Which is weird because it's funny, but anyway, so that's what we're doing today. So my wife is going to get us started with that.
So like he said, last week we talked about the frequently asked questions that interracial couples get, and we answered them and talked about them and talked about how some of them offended us or didn't. And so in the meantime, Anthony had posted on Instagram stories, I guess, just like a question that said, what questions do you think interracial couples get? And the responses were many. And I think I was a little offended by them.
Oh, my God.
But the first question was, and I don't know if they're just trying to be funny, if they're just saying, like, they really think that we get this question, or they're asking, because really what you put was, what questions do you guys think interracial couples get? So it's like, well, what's on your mind, people? What do you think? What do you think we get asked? And so part of it, I don't know if this is just hypothetical or if these are really things that people wonder.
We'll go find out today.
The first question was, who seasons the food?
Who seasons the food?
So like one of us cooks it and then the other one just seasons it.
Yes. It's like, I've warmed up the chicken. You gonna come season it now? We cook individually and we season the food individually. So if I cook, I season it. If she cooks, she seasons it. I guess what you're getting at is it seasoned? Is it just
salt and pepper?
Is it just salt and pepper?
No.
What ingredients do you use whenever you're seasoning?
It just depends, Just depends. I use
on like the recipe, or do you feel it in your heart?
I use a lot of the same stuff, frankly, across all the things.
So like what?
So garlic salt, seasoning salt. I do use pepper. I like lime, cayenne. It just depends. I guess it does kind of depend on what I'm cooking. But my go-tos are garlic salt, seasoning salt, pepper.
Just any kind of garlic salt or seasoning salt?
I don't know. It's just red top. It has a red lid on it. I like Tony's too.
Oh, yeah. Tony's is fire.
But I usually like a lot of butter and salt and garlic and lime.
He said lime.
Those are all of my favorite things.
Yeah. When I
Do white people season their food? Is that should be the question.
white people, this white person does. I can't speak for all white people.
But you don't think that I season it like enough?
Yeah, I mean it's not to my. So I feel like we are on two different extremes. Like I feel like I have the over seasoning. I feel like I'm more often than not going to have something that tastes like too salty, as opposed to like not salty enough. Like that's where I err on that
and
side.
I like really salty. Like I like pickles. I like salt and vinegar chips. I like olives. I like straight vinegar. I
just be drinking vinegar.
So when it's salty, too salty for me, that's like bad. It's probably going to cause a health problem.
Yeah, so that's where I err at. But I feel like I like to experiment in the kitchen, and so it's like, you know, when you get like the spice racks and it has like 19 different types of spices in there, I like to just try it. It's like, I wonder what thyme tastes like. I'm gonna put it. I've never tasted it before. I'm gonna put a lot of it in the chicken, and so then I mean, over time, I just kind of learned what they taste like, and so I don't know. I just feel like I like to put a lot of stuff in it just to. I don't ever really know what the end result is going to taste like, but I know that I'll like it, and so that's how
you made
we
it, so of course you would like it.
that's how we
usually
handle
how it works.
seasonings in the household. So there are some white people who season their food.
Some.
I don't know. I'm only speaking from my experience.
There are some black people that over season their food. Next question is pumpkin or sweet potato? We kind of already talked about this.
Yeah, it's definitely a sweet potato.
It's definitely pumpkin.
It's not pumpkin. It's definitely sweet potato.
And sweet potato casserole.
I used to think I liked pumpkin pie. So the funny story for me is whenever I'm sure it was Thanksgiving, some type of holiday, there was pie that was, you know, there. I was young, and I mean, if you look at it to the untrained eye, pumpkin pie and sweet potato pie look the same.
Can't even tell. But you can.
To the eye.
You can, though.
A little bit, yeah. And
sweet potato's darker.
That's what I said, to the untrained eye.
Yeah.
And so I had sweet potato pie the first time, and I loved it. It was so good. And
so
then,
good.
But I didn't know it was sweet potato pie. I thought it was pumpkin pie. So I would always ask for pumpkin pie. And I was like, this is not as good as the one that I had. And I was just kind of attributing it to, nah, you got to get the one that so-and-so makes.
Where were you getting pumpkin pie? Multiple times where you were asking for it.
I mean, maybe like Coco's or something like that.
What's Coco's?
It's like, it would be the equivalent. So Coco's is a restaurant. I don't know if it's still in existence. It was a restaurant in California, Southern California, that, you know, did pies and stuff like that. It'd be the equivalent to like the pie. What is that called out here? The pie shop, pie place?
Flying saucer?
No. It wasn't just a pie place. It was like, they did pies, but they also had like food there too.
I don't know.
You know,
Cracker Barrel. I'm trying to think of like the most country place where you can get pies and.
It's not Cracker Barrel, but whatever. We're just gonna skip past that. So, Cracker Barrel, they make pancake pies. No, so anyway, so that's where I would ask for pumpkin pies, but I never liked them like as much as I liked the pie that I had before, and I didn't know it was a difference until I had sweet potato pie. And then I knew the name of it. And I was like, this is the pie. And ever since then, pumpkin pie has been gross. It's not better than sweet potato.
It's not gross, but
it's not better than sweet potato pie.
I think it is. And I'm sorry.
What about what about pumpkin pie do you like?
I think sweet potato pie is too sweet.
When else do you eat pumpkin? Like when else in
when do you eat sweet potatoes?
You eat sweet potatoes all the time. They have sweet potato fries.
When do you eat them?
They have sweet potato fries.
You have some pumpkin cheesecake cookies that you just bought.
The flavor.
Pumpkin coffee.
I do like pumpkin coffee.
So I do delicious.
Yeah, pumpkin pie is not though.
Well,
maybe pumpkin pie coffee would be good.
Yeah,
or like
they
pumpkin.
Make it.
Like if they made a pie that tasted like pumpkin coffee, that could probably be good.
That's dumb. They have. Well, whenever we have like holidays, he wins for whatever the pie is because I just don't feel like dealing with his attitude. So we have sweet potato pie. We don't have pumpkin pie because he gets mad.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
So pumpkin pie doesn't win. I was gonna say, wait, pumpkin pie does not win. I'm.
Are we
we're
just going to
Yeah, no,
continue
go ahead.
to?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Next question.
Next question is, do we ever get racist or prejudice vibes from our extended families?
So if you go back and listen to the podcast before this, it should answer some of those questions. I don't think so for me. I mean, I wouldn't say racist or prejudice. I don't know that. I can't really like pinpoint.
It's a no for me.
Is that what I just said no? Yeah, no, I don't.
I mean, I don't know. Do you feel something like do they ever do anything a little off?
No, absolutely not. No. You talk like
Let's talk about my family.
Well, because I mean, so extended is like
extended, like parents,
yeah,
like
no, absolutely not.
grandparents.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Okay. This one is more of a comment because they have experience with this topic.
Okay.
So they said that they have a lot of conversations with their own family about racial identity and how to identify if they are passing for that race.
Say that one more time.
They have conversations with their own family about racial identity and how to identify if they are, quote unquote, passing.
So this is from a biracial person, I presume.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that I feel like that's a question that we kind of navigate, or maybe we talk amongst ourselves, kind of just watching Jaden as far as like how he deals with how he identifies and stuff like that. I definitely think that
so I guess the question is talking about whether or not they are passing as one race or not, like if they're accepted as a particular race or not, or if they are black enough,
right,
or if they are white enough to
or
be considered
Hispanic enough, or whatever they're mixed with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, I don't know that challenge personally. I do see some of that in Jay, and then in some of the conversations I have with people who are mixed, I feel like that is there's some of the identifying factor that they deal with on some level, where it's like, they're not sure, if they're doing enough to be considered in that. And I think also, man, like, somebody was like, are you, like being made fun of and stuff like that in school and everything. And, I think that to someone who isn't mixed race, you can probably think that some of the things you say aren't harmful or hurtful because you're saying them maybe jokingly on some level. Like, you're not saying it to hurt the person. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for instance, to say to Jay, oh, that's your white side coming out. You know what I'm saying? Like, where it's like, you're saying it jokingly, but on some level, it's like, it's dealing with his identity. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, I don't know. But I mean, I think that is a real concern that I see.
Well, you asked me last time, I think it was, like, had I married a white guy, what effect do I think that would have had on Jaden's identity, and whether or not Jay would have
identified more
with his white side. And I said that I felt like I am white, right, so I do feel like I am giving a white perspective on life.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine like being kind of in between those worlds, especially right now.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't know. One day they say that that mixed race will be the majority.
I mean, I don't deny. I mean, I can see that. They were saying like by like 2035 or something like that. Like, it wasn't even like somewhere way off in the future. It was like, I mean, I guess that's 15 years in the future, but still not like
that far.
Yeah, no, for real. So, I mean, that's, I guess, our thoughts on that topic. What we got next?
So the next topic, they get asked. I think this person gets asked. 1 check or 2?
Yeah, we get that.
Yeah, we talked about that as well.
Yeah.
That we get asked all of the time. Are you guys together or separate? whether that's in a restaurant, whether that's at the airport, in the line at the grocery store. So it just happened to us the other day. Where were we?
It happened
We
to us
were
the other
in
day?
line somewhere, and
Oh, were we at the grocery store? Or we were
we were at
a store.
Lowe's.
Oh, okay, yeah. And then did I move? Did you go? I walked
Actually,
up.
no, we weren't at Lowe's.
We were at Lowe's, and I walked up first. And
Oh, and then I started to come.
Yeah, you started to put your basket up there
Yeah.
with me. I said, "Come on, babe," and they were like, "So all this stuff is yours?"
Well, I think they were like concerned because the it's supposed to be 6 feet apart.
Oh yeah.
And so the dude was like, "Excuse me, ma'am, like you're way too close to this dude's personal space. Like, is this supposed to be all your stuff?" Like, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
we
it is.
definitely get that. I wonder, like, because I don't even remember like being like with someone else that like was
Yeah,
my
you don't
same race.
remember.
I don't remember anybody.
Any of those
I have
times.
no idea what that was even like. I don't even know.
Like, you thinking, like, did you ever judge other people?
Oh well, no. Did they ever ask me that when I was with someone else? That like we looked like we were together.
Like, maybe we're assuming people are being.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think that sometimes it could be genuine. Like, I mean, if you're a waitress or a waiter and you know,
just ask everybody that.
I mean, you may, if two people come in, depending on where the restaurant is and all that stuff, it may look just like a business, conversation or something.
I don't know. Whenever I go, like, out to eat with anybody else, well, that's not true. I guess.
What you mean going out to eat with anybody else?
Like, with my friends.
Well, they don't ask you if you want to split it when you're with your
No,
friends?
we usually say, "Can we split it?"
Like girlfriends?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, they assume I go with guys and they assume that we're together and then they give us the same check. And then I'm like, "Wait a second. Wait, hold up there. That's not my husband."
You're so dumb. You're so dumb.
But I don't think that I feel like we have to say, because I think most of the time people don't want to split the check.
Yeah.
Most of the time the waiters don't want to have to. They just want to bring one check. But I don't know why they ask us that.
They ask.
Why they ask, "Do you want to be together or separate?" Because usually they're like, "No, this is going to be one check. I'm not dealing with that." I feel like every time I go out, it's like I have to be like, "Wait, I'm sorry. Can you split it?"
I don't really know that I have that problem.
What? People
Like I've always asked if it's split. Like I don't know that I feel like I've had more people ask me to split it than it, like they assume that it's all on one check.
Oh, maybe that's another
another
layer.
Oh.
I don't know about that. Well, I guess that's a common question that is not just us, because
Interracial couples.
yeah, this was another a party in an interracial relationship asked that question. Somebody asked why. Why?
Why are
do
we
this
together?
to you? So I don't know why.
Well, so the question that we asked was,
What questions do you think interracial couples get asked?
And
their question was, why?
Why do they?
Just why are you doing this?
Why are you together?
What is this? Why?
Because I'm in love. I love my wife.
I don't know, why does anybody get with anybody?
Right. Why? I don't know. I don't know.
I know. I'm like, but I'm not sure. What do you mean, why?
Because she's nice. I got with her.
Well, that's a lie.
Well, yeah, nice kid.
So now that seems weird.
Not that.
Her nice white skin. I know that's not what you were saying.
No,
but why did you have to say skin of all things?
I know. God dang it. Nice clothes. There you go. Brought me back from the brink. That's why. What was why for you?
Because I liked you.
So you don't like me anymore.
I did at the time. We're fighting right now. So. The next question, I think this is. We only have a couple more.
Okay.
I don't even want to ask this question. Does size matter? That's the most dumb. Like, that is like messed up on so many levels. Like, I don't even like that. First of all, I think that's assuming a very specific interracial couple. Number one.
What does that mean?
Well, because I think the stereotype.
Oh, got you. Because
So
we're not saying like Like,
we just
not
said
any interracial. Like, so it's not Asian and white or like black and Mexican.
We didn't say.
Or
We just
Mexican
said
and
interracial.
Asian or however. Yeah, no, you're right.
But they're like, does size
We're
matter?
talking about this interracial.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
You don't know if size matters?
I'm saying I don't know what they meant by their question. You know, I was told by a very dear friend of mine, and I told you this.
Oh, yeah.
That, she had to inform me that other people think that I prefer a certain size because I was dating a black guy. And she was like, that's what people think of you. They are thinking that about you whenever they look at you. And I was like, that's ridiculous.
Wild. That's wild. Yeah.
Does size matter? I feel like that's a question for any woman. What's that got to do with this? First of all, that assumes that I know about all the races. I know. And I tell you. What?
That's hilarious. I just think that's a funny question. I think that is a hilarious question.
Do you know who asked that question?
I do, but I'm not going to.
You're going to have to remind me.
All right. I'll remind you after this.
I think I know. Just dumb. Can't even with that. Question. I mean, what do you think about it? That's it? You just think it's funny?
What do I think? Does size matter? Like, first of all,
I don't know. Maybe I don't know what they're talking about. Maybe they're talking about butts.
Does butt size matter?
I mean,
let's just go down the list. Head size.
Well, I'm winning in that category.
Wow.
You got a big old head.
But does it matter?
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, why everybody go zoom in on my head on the video? Like, yeah, no, it is pretty big. That's why I wear baseball caps. Wow, baseball caps. I don't think I've ever used that word.
That's not old.
Anyway.
Showing your age.
Google it.
Google what?
Does size matter? Is it Google it?
Oh, well, I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I assumed what they were referring to.
Hand size does matter because if you have to grab something big, if your hands are too small, you can't grip it.
Yeah.
Nose size might matter because how would you be able to smell a fire? Next question.
Okay. This is the last.
Oh, this is the last one?
Yeah.
Cool.
And this person had actually been through this as well, and they said that they have a lot of personal experience with this, and for them, they receive this question often. It doesn't bother you dating a white girl? This is a black guy. It doesn't bother you dating a white girl?
No, it doesn't. I do think that there are some. There's a bunch of. I will say there are hurdles that I think you have to mentally jump through when you make that decision. If that makes, like, I'm deciding that I'm going to throw my hat in the white pool. Like, I just think that there are a lot of, I would say, idiotic stereotypes as far as like all black men want to be with a white woman, and like that's like the prize to be won, and or you're winning if you're with a white girl or whatever that is, or you're not true to who you are because you didn't marry a sister and all this other stuff, and how can you say anything about black lives or be pro-black because you married outside your race? I mean, just like all of those kind of stigmatisms that I really could care less about, but they're out there, and I think that for some black people they have to jump through those hurdles, because I feel like for a lot of people, some people's families are not as accepting as ours were to that, know, or I mean, like literally be like, oh, you gonna bring that white girl to our house, or don't bring a white girl to the whatever, like they talk about the cookout, and I just like, I mean, anyway, but
wait, what happened?
So that happened? No, that did not happen. That did not happen. Are you trying to get crunk?
I didn't know if that happened.
No, it didn't happen. But I'm just saying, like, but that's the stuff you hear, where it's like, oh, well, you don't know because you got a white girl, or you not this anymore because you a white girl, whatever, like, or you because you got like. So I think that there are some of those hurdles. So the question was what again?
Doesn't it bother you?
No. So it doesn't bother me at all.
I think other people are just thinking that it may be more difficult.
I mean, it is on some level. I think that, but I feel like it would be, like any other thing that is outside of the norm that's set up for that culture. And we kind of talked about culture, the last podcast. So if you want a more kind of in-depth thought, we had a little bit more serious conversation about some of these questions on the last podcast. But I will say it's just like, there is some difficulty anytime that you just go outside of the norm that people would want to set for you. And that's not all people and that's not everybody. And, sure. But I think that, in certain sects of the Black community, there's some ideology that would make it difficult for someone who's a part of that ideology to be with someone white.
Yeah, I mean, vice versa, too. Yeah. And obviously in the white community, some people have real big issues with it. I choose to not associate myself with people like that. So I don't bump up against that other than with strangers.
Yeah.
So I could really
care less. Yeah. I could care less. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so, we love to hear from you, and we thank you for your comments and your questions and concerns. We thank you for tuning in with us and doing all the things that it requires to be supportive. So yeah, I mean we're gonna just go ahead and I guess wrap it up here. If you would like to follow us, please follow us on our social media. You can follow my wife at
She's a Lawyer on Instagram.
You can follow her at She's a Lawyer on Instagram. And you can follow me, yours truly, at Who is Anthony on Instagram. And then you can follow me on Twitter at Who is Anthony R. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel because we are posting Grey-Purview videos left and right. We also have the podcast, so we really, really appreciate the people who are listening from Apple Podcasts, Google's Podcasts, what's the other one? Spotify, Deezer, wherever you're listening to it at. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you. We read your comments. We, all that stuff. Obviously, this is what this episode pretty much is about. But please like, subscribe, so that way you can stay up to date with what's going on. But this has been another episode of Grey-Purview Podcast. I have been Anthony.
This is Morgan.
We love you, and we will see you next week.